Hey there, Banger fans! This is Sam Astroth welcoming you back to Overkill Reviews, Banger's weekly metal review show. I'm so fucking excited for the next few days, guys. I'm shooting my next music video tomorrow. Then on Sunday, I'm fucking off to London, UK, and stepping foot on European soil for the first time on my 37th fucking birthday. So, hell yeah. This week, I'm reviewing the 12th full-length album from one of the biggest bands in melodic death metal history, celebrating 30 years of Swedish Viking onslaught, this time in the form of the Great Heathen Army.
One by one, the rest of all the Great Heathen Army. We all fear the battle call. Great Heathen Army. God has forsaken us. Faith and belief is chaos. The Great Heathen Army.
Heathen fucking shit, army of greatness. Now that is how you write an epic fucking chorus. It's a new album from Amon Amarth called The Great Heathen Army, out today, August 12th via Metal Blade Records. Amon Amarth originated back in 1992 in Tumba, Sweden, and have released 12 full-length albums to date. Going strong for 30 years now, the band consists of 3 original members, starting with my death metal dad, aka the legendary Johan Hägg on vocals, Olavi Mikkonen on lead guitar, Ted Lundström on bass, alongside longtime running rhythm guitarist Johan Soderberg and Jockey Wahlgren, who has been handling drum duties for the last 2 albums. So, if you were once obsessed with this band like I was, I literally learned how to properly, growl, listening to Johan on repeat for 2 years in a row, you would know that Amon Amarth have been changing things up quite a bit in their last few albums. Not so much in terms of musical direction, although there have been some cool experimentation there. So, how does the Great Heathen Army change the Amon Amarth formula? Well, let's find out. Yes, fucking riffs. Being a vocalist who doesn't really play any instruments, it is ultra rare that I pay more attention to the riffs from a band than anything else. But in the case of Amon Amarth, that is, in my opinion, their best feature. Don't believe me? Well, get in the ring and find out for yourself. While the vocals, lyrics, bass, and drums are also stellar, I actually look forward to hearing the groovy riffs, melodic leads, and overall guitar magic from the band the most. Over 30 years and 12 albums, the band has somehow created the signature sound, which lets you know exactly who you're listening to every single time you hear an Amon Amarth song, and the riffs just keep on coming. Seriously, I have yet to be like,
those riffs from the album was kinda meh.
No, every new album has many memorable riffage that are somehow surprisingly new and exciting to listen to, yet somehow always having the band's signature sound.
Viking roar!
Okay, I obviously can't do an Amon Amarth review without talking about Johan's signature Viking roar that has given us hundreds of songs with epic stories from various aspects of the Norse mythology. However, if you have noticed, Johan has evolved and changed over time. Early Amon Amarth had rough, monstrous-sounding growls and screechy shrieks. From Twilight of the Thunder Gods and onwards, they started to experiment and open the doors to feature vocalists and musicians. And finally, in the last 3 albums, their lyrics and visuals started to relate more and more towards the modern era, which I'll touch base on in my next point. But first, what does the 12th album, The Great Heathen Army, have to do with all these changes over time that I mentioned? Well, because this album actually takes a little bit from all those previous albums, which is very cool. If you listen carefully, you'll actually notice that Johan changes his vocal and lyrical styles from the grimy The Crusher era to the anthemic Pursuit of Vikings era to the arena-ready feel of more recent albums to match the vibe of different songs based on their context. This is genius. As someone who's been studying e-commerce, this band has their branding and marketing on point. Like I mentioned earlier, the band has gradually evolved from caveman Vikings to smart-ass modern business-savvy Vikings, as they will tell you to find a way or make one.
Stand tall and fight, the world will quake. Stand tall.
can see from the song I just played for you and the other videos in this review, you'll see that the band has been connecting more and more to the pop culture of today, injecting their Viking music into everything from MMA to Mad Max-like scenarios to day-to-day mundane 9-to-5 office life. They even portrayed children playing board games to their music and sporting the band's posters, symbols, as well as different band members wearing different album artwork shirts in their last video. Combine this with their larger-than-life epic live shows, Amon Amarth shows you that you can carry the Viking spirit in any aspect of life. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our Patreon and Twitch channel so we can keep bringing you these reviews and all of our shows like Loghorns, Shredders of Metal, and much more. Cheese alert! Alright, I appreciate nearly everything Amon Amarth is doing, and I love a good quality cheese, but there is a little too much cheese on this album. Like you saw in the last couple of videos I showed you, there's some questionable acting from some of the cast, which I'm not gonna go into detail about, but watch again and you'll most likely notice. Also, there's a song called Hadron on the album where you hear a goat going bah like twice, which I was not expecting. What were you guys thinking, putting sheep or goat sounds in your songs? I went and Googled it. I know what it's about, but still, guys. I get it that some of the lyrics in the songs in the album are these guys, having fun and letting loose, but sometimes it goes a little too far. I believe in one part, Johan is straight up chanting, "Who's the goat? Who is the goat?" Like he's gonna, start his rap career and show everyone off who's boss. From e-Vikings to experimental Vikings. All right. Perhaps the most notable feature on this album is the amount of experimentation the band does. I touched on this earlier with how Johan changes up his vocals and lyrics from song to song. This is largely thanks to the different styles of riffing and songwriting that happens throughout the album. The band takes you through a variety of emotions and genres, between groovy rhythmic writing to past and present style of the band's melodic death metal songwriting to anthem-like songs to rock and roll and even old school heavy metal feels at times. You get rather heavy and fast-paced songs like Odin Owns You All. You even get some atmospheric parts in songs like The Dawn of Norsemen. You get some cool spoken passages and almost singing-like melodies in the last song of the album, The Serpent's Trail. Perhaps the coolest experimentation on this album is showcased on the song Saxons and Vikings, where Johan does duet vocals mixing his growls alongside the soaring cleans of Saxon vocalist Biff Byford. So, the Great Heathen Army was quite a surprising listen for even a huge fan like me, so chances are you will be surprised by it too. Whether that's pleasantly or unpleasantly, though, will depend on you. If you only like one specific era of the band, then you'll probably be royally disappointed. If you take yourself too seriously, you'll probably also be disappointed. However, if you love to see a band experiment and try new things out, even if everything doesn't exactly fit in your cup of tea, and you want to see this guy's music become the theme song for like the next God of War game or the Thor film, and want your kids to grow up acting like little Vikings, then hurrah! I know I definitely do. Therefore, I'm giving this album 4 out of 5 Thors going from dad bod to god bod here on Overkill Reviews. So what did you think of this album? Leave me a comment below and let me know. Until next time, ciao.